And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to a very, very big GPU. This is Blackwell.
NVIDIA announces the next generation of ultra-high-end chips, dubbed Blackwell.
They did just announce Blackwell. Jensen Huang saying it's not a chip, it's the name of a platform.
This is the most advanced GPU in the world in production today.
What if I told you the future might not be controlled by governments, but by a single tech giant? A company that's quietly pulling the strings from behind the scenes, shaping your digital life, your games, your AI, and even your reality. Welcome to the world of NVIDIA. In a few short years, they've gone from a small startup to a global power. So powerful, their tech runs everything. From your phone to the world's most advanced supercomputers used in the United States Pentagon. But how? How did a little company become the silent ruler of the digital world? NVIDIA is no longer just a company. It's the next global power, and you're about to find out how they got here, how much control they have over our lives, and where they're going next. Trust me, you won't want to miss this.
Hi, welcome to NVIDIA.
First, let's take a trip back to where it all started. The humble beginnings of Jensen Huang, the man who made it all possible. Jensen Huang was born on February 17, 1963 in Taipei, Taiwan, and moved to Tainan as a child. Taiwan at the time had significant political and economic turbulence. So Jensen Huang's parents sent him to live with his relatives in Tacoma, Washington.
In 1973, I think I was 9 years old, my older brother was 10. There was an upheaval. Military was tanks and soldiers were marching down the middle of the street. People were shooting each other. And so my parents felt that it was probably best to send us to the United States to live with our uncle.
He attended the Oneida Baptist Institute in Kentucky, a boarding school where he learned discipline and resilience, traits that would define his future career.
They sent us to Kentucky Oneida Baptist Institute, and Oneida Baptist Institute turns out to have been quite a special school.
Jensen grew passion and curiosity for the fast-growing technology in the early 1900s, which led him to Oregon State University in 1992, where he pursued a degree in electrical engineering.
My three wishes to you: to fall in love, to enjoy failure, and to challenge conventional wisdom by seeing the world like a child. I hope these wishes come true for you as it has for me. I hope you live a life of hopes and bravely pursue these hopes your entire life. Congratulations, class of 2009.
He honed his skills in chip design and computing, setting the foundation for his future breakthroughs. But his thirst for knowledge didn't stop there. After earning his bachelor's degree, Huang took his education to the next level at Stanford University. He obtained a master's in electrical engineering and immersed himself in cutting-edge research. Stanford was Jensen Huang's gateway to the thriving Silicon Valley tech scene, which was undergoing a revolution in microprocessors and graphics technology. Armed with a top-tier education, Jensen embarked on his professional journey. His first major role was at LSI Logic, a pioneering semiconductor company, where he worked on designing microprocessors. This role gave him a deep understanding of computing architectures and semiconductor fabrication. He later joined Advanced Micro Devices, AMD, where he specialized in chip design, gaining first-hand experience in the competitive world of computer hardware. 1993, this was a memorable year indeed. Bill Clinton was inaugurated as the 42nd President of the United States of America. The World Trade Center in New York City was bombed, killing 6 people and injuring thousands.
Considering that we think a bomb caused this explosion, it's amazing that there were not more injuries here. This is the closest hospital to the World Trade Center.
The World Wide Web, WWW, became public in this year. But one of the most significant but not really memorable event in 1993 is the inception of NVIDIA. In 1993, 3 engineers, Jensen Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Pring, came together in a Denny's restaurant located in San Jose.
I'm Jensen Huang. I'm the president and CEO of NVIDIA. I met Chris and Curtis. They were at Sun Microsystems. I was at LSI Logic. So we were all from the workstation industry, and All we had ever worked on were Sun workstations and Ballad workstations and things like that.
Back in the 1990s, most computers relied on CPUs for everything, including graphics. This made 3D gaming and complex simulations nearly impossible. Jensen, Chris, and Curtis' solution was simple but new. Implement Graphics Processing Unit (GPU), which will be useful in rendering graphics and images, used in devices for tasks like gaming, video editing, 3D modeling, and even AI applications. Gaming. That's where it all started. NVIDIA, the undisputed king of GPUs, transformed gaming with technologies like the action-packed Call of Duty, the immersive open-world adventure Genshin Impact, the creative sandbox Minecraft, the fast-paced battle royale Fortnite, and the thrilling racing simulator Gran Turismo 5, making every frame buttery smooth. But what if I told you that these very same GPUs, originally built for gaming, would go on to revolutionize the world? For years, NVIDIA was known for one thing: powering epic gaming experiences. Their GPUs delivered high-quality visuals and smooth performance for games. But in the early 2010s, something groundbreaking happened. Researchers at Stanford and the University of Toronto discovered that NVIDIA's GPUs weren't just good at rendering graphics. They were perfect for training deep neural networks.
And then there was one other breakthrough technology. I remember at Stanford when my students were telling me, hey Andrew, there's this thing called CUDA. Not that easy to program, but it's letting people use GPUs for something different. Could we build a server to use GPUs and see if they could scale up deep learning? And that server wound up being what we use for our first deep learning experiments to train neural networks. We started to see 10x or even 100x speedups.
Because GPUs are designed for parallel processing, handling thousands of tasks at once, making them incredibly efficient for AI workloads. The real aha moment came in 2012. Jeffrey Hinton's team used NVIDIA GPUs to train AlexNet, a deep neural network, and it absolutely crushed the competition in image recognition.
Does humanity know what it's doing?
No. I think we're moving into a period when, for the first time ever, we may have things more intelligent than us.
This was the moment the world realized that NVIDIA wasn't just about gaming anymore. It was about powering the future of AI. Once the tech world recognized this, NVIDIA pivoted fast. The company's stock price surged as investors saw its potential, skyrocketing its valuation from a few billion to over $1 trillion.
This company is now worth more than most other countries' GDP in the world. It has, in fact, surpassed Australia, South Korea, even Russia.
Tech giants like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft scrambled to equip their data centers with NVIDIA's AI-optimized chips. Such as the Tesla series, NVIDIA expanded into autonomous vehicles, healthcare AI, and scientific computing. The company is presently building the Omniverse, a platform for creating digital twins, real-world objects and environments recreated in virtual space.
We need a simulation engine that represents the world digitally for the robot, so that the robot has a gym to go learn how to be a robot. We call that virtual world Omniverse. And the computer that runs Omniverse is called OVX. And OVX, the computer itself, is hosted in the Azure cloud.
The power of GPUs is no longer confined to Earth. It's expanding to the digital universe. When a person has control over an industry, a country, or even the world, everyone will want to get close and friendly. You see, this is not because Mark Zuckerberg likes Jensen Huang as another American tech billionaire, but because he needs his technology to run his multi-billion company. Ever heard of the Orion? This works with NVIDIA technology, Meta AI works with NVIDIA technology, and many more. So we may say Zuckerberg is this rich because of NVIDIA. Elon Musk isn't also trying to make an American buddy. I doubt he considers Jensen a real American, but he need him in ChatGPT, Tesla, Grok AI, everything. This shows how these tech giants need NVIDIA technology, and this is just the beginning of a revolution. In a world where every government thrives to become or remain the world power, NVIDIA has shown dominance in this ambition. Governments around the world are now heavily dependent on NVIDIA's AI chips for national security, intelligence operations, and military applications. In an era where artificial intelligence determines military dominance, NVIDIA has become as crucial as oil was in the 20th century. From AI-driven cybersecurity to real-time battlefield analytics, NVIDIA's GPUs power some of the most advanced defense and surveillance systems in existence. U.S. intelligence agencies like the NSA, the CIA, and the Department of Defense rely on NVIDIA's hardware to process vast amounts of intelligence data. The ability to analyze threats in real time, detect cyber intrusions, and even guide autonomous weapons systems depends on NVIDIA's AI computing power. But here's where things get even more interesting. Who really controls who? While governments rely on NVIDIA's technology, NVIDIA itself holds a unique position of power. If a nation wants the most advanced AI capabilities, they have to negotiate with NVIDIA. The company's control over cutting-edge AI hardware and software has given it an unprecedented level of influence over global security. We've already seen NVIDIA's power play out on the global stage. The U.S. government has restricted the export of NVIDIA's most advanced AI chips to China.
So we have these reports, China's Huawei planning a new AI chip, they say, for mass shipment. It's from Reuters. Look at NVIDIA, we're down about 6% in today's trade. Stacey, you cover the name. What'd you make of that headline?
To be honest, I don't see why it matters. NVIDIA's not allowed to sell anything in China anymore as it relates to AI, so who cares?
NVIDIA has become the backbone of the digital world and even the real world, the silent force shaping our future. With every passing year, the world becomes more reliant on NVIDIA's technology. AI is getting smarter. The metaverse is growing. Self-driving cars are taking over the streets. And at the heart of it all is one company. Some say NVIDIA is leading us into a golden age of innovation. Others fear it's becoming too powerful, too essential. As technology evolves, NVIDIA is at the center of it all, fueling the next wave of breakthroughs, dictating the pace of innovation, and maybe, just maybe, controlling the world in ways we never imagined. But how much of our lives will they control?